Scorpio, this is going to be your reading for the first half of July 2020. We're going to take a look at your recent past, your current energies, and then what is in your immediate future. These are general readings, so they may not resonate with all of you. If they do, let me know what's going on in the comments section. Don't be a stranger. Yeah, that's kind of it. The first half of July, yesterday, the first we had Saturn move back into Capricorn, where it's going to be until the end of December. This is our last chance to wrap up what has been going on with our Saturn transit for the past couple of years. So do take a look at what area of your life that is going to be. And then on the 5th, we also have a penumbral eclipse. And I will do a little bit more talking about that once that is closer. So that was like very stilted, awkward language, so whatever. Anyways, we're gonna move on. Yeah, point being, subscribe if you want more information on that closer to the day of. Let's get into your reading. So what's going on for Scorpio the first half of July 2020? Okay. Well, I feel like you're learning how to say no to something. Your own new beginnings in some way, or your fears about starting something new. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles, Knight of Wands reversed, followed by the Moon, the Fool, the Two of Cups reversed, and the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like there was some sort of an offer that was made to you. And even though it excited you on one level, it activated a ton of fears for you on another. So you are kind of in this position right now where you're kind of working through the emotions of what starting it would mean for you. And that's going to be the general theme of this reading, most likely. So recent past for you, we have the Emperor, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Empress reversed. So this is like a divine kind of counterpart, very powerful connection, someone with whom you share a lot of abundance, specifically. This can also, we have the Queen of Swords between them, so I feel like there was an altercation of some kind, or there was a conversation that was had, which I kind of feel like this is you, this Emperor. I kind of feel like you cut this Empress figure out. I feel like there was a hard line drawn. Not really sure why. We're going to go back and clarify. In your current energy, we have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Wands reversed. So you're moving very quickly towards something. You're moving very quickly towards a new idea. But there is kind of a instability to it. There's a lot of excitement about more than one thing, and you're not really being too choosy about what notions you're entertaining. You're just kind of exploring all of the directions that you can kind of take. You're not really committed to any one of them yet. And you're just kind of in this new, this very new energy of exploring what different sort of areas would look like for you. Like what new beginnings would look like for you. And you're kind of just it kind of feels like you're just running headlong into it without really putting a ton of thought into it. It's kind of like you're running, but you're trying to think as you're running, and it's a very kind of a manic energy, if that isn't the wrong word to use. I hope it isn't, but it just feels very unstable and very much like I want something and I'm gonna go for it, but it is really this Page of Wands is very very youthful and doesn't really know what they want. So just be mindful of that. In your immediate future, we have the Five of Swords reversed, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the King of Cups. So I feel like that unstable energy is going to kind of come to a head, and you're going to kind of have to reconcile with yourself about it. You're going to have to, look at it and be like, okay, maybe I was kind of being, behaving from a place of I'm not really sure how to word this, but it feels like you're gonna lose a battle with yourself, and it's just like, oh, I was really excited about that, but you're right, like I didn't actually think about it very much. And it's gonna kind of hit you hard, and it'll be a bit of a stalemate situation, I feel like. And it does kind of seem like it is whatever like this emperor empress like duality is. If it isn't an actual figure, I'm feeling like it's you and you. Like there's a part of you that you cut off in some way. You're like, I don't want to deal with that part of my life. And then you just kind of like, it's like you sprinted headlong away from it. You're like, you won't catch me if I keep running, kind of thing. Well, guess what? It caught you. Okay? Caught up with you. Let's go in and clarify what this Emperor energy is in your recent past. Okay, we have the Five of Wands, we have the Hanged One reverse, and we have the Empress upright this time. Interesting. Yeah. I feel like you got tired of waiting for something. Or, yeah, it kind of feels like there was something that maybe you were fighting for a long time. This is like feeling very like a spiritual battle in a way. Or, I mean, I'm gonna say this generally, and this is your recent past, so you're gonna know right away if it was true or not, but it feels like an illness of some type. It feels like it was something that was felt in the body, that put you out of commission, and you had to like put a lot of work in to get yourself back to health, back to your vitality, back to the place where you felt like you could get on top of your willpower and like kind of move forward with it. Yeah, it just kind of feels like your body was like really going through a lot. And it could be like not just your physical body, but I kind of feel like it was with this Empress. I feel like this was something like maybe you got food poisoning, maybe you overdid it at the gym one day, and then it was just kind of like, oh god, I'm tired. So that kind of a thing. Pushed really hard again in one direction and burnt yourself out, and I feel like you rectified that situation. But let's clarify this Empress in your recent past. We have the Queen of Cups, we have the Eight of Cups, and we have the Ace of Cups reversed. Scorpio, I kind of get the feeling like it's like your energy is doing this right now. It's like you're breathing into something, but you found something in your intuition. It feels like that you walked away from. It's kind of like you found something, and then you're like, nope, I'm out. And it kind of, it caused your emotions to stop moving. And I'm wondering now if it wasn't something that came up through this illness, or through this physical imbalance that you had, it, like by pushing yourself really far in that direction. I'm wondering if it didn't get you back in touch with like the Empress body, like with what it feels like to be ensouled, and really like rekindled your love for like your physical consort again. But for some, and then it did this interesting thing where I feel like you saw that and then you walked away from it again for some reason. It's not entirely clear why. I feel like there was a vulnerability piece here as well, where it just was like overwhelming. It just was a lot to process, so you ran away from it, maybe. That's what I see happening here. It's like you didn't like what your heart was telling you, you didn't like what your body was telling you, so you ditched it in some way. You kind of brushed it off, I guess. It could also be that when you were ill and like unwell, or like, and this can be like when I say illness, it can just be like imbalance. Kind of just feels like there was a spiritual awakening that happened. But again, I feel like the emotions of it overwhelmed you, and you turned tail and you were like, I'm getting the heck out of here. It was just like, for some reason it was just too much. Let's talk about this Eight of Wands in your present moment. Like, you're gonna tell me what I need to do. Eight of Wands. Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords, we've got the Ten of Wands, and we have the Knight of Swords. Oh, Scorpio, what is going on? You're turning your back on something, and like I'm very confused by this. I am. I wouldn't be surprised if you are too. Because it's like, on one hand, you know, you're like, I'm gonna learn from that past mistake as I move forward. I'm gonna take responsibilities for my problems, and on the other hand, you're like, can't get away from it fast enough. You know, it's like, it's interesting the way that these guys are on the table is like, one of them's going this way, one of them's going this way, one of them's going this way, and the other one's going that way. It's like nobody is on the same page. We're all just, you know, and it's very frantic, sort of. You know, there's a desire to take responsibility for something, but your head is like taking you in a different direction. It feels like you're overthinking it a lot. Let's talk about this Page of Wands in your current energy. You're the Queen of Swords again. We have the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Two of Pentacles. So here's what's up. Okay, babe? Don't walk away from me. We're not done here yet. We have a lot of getting lost in the sauce, getting pretty confused by multiple options, okay? And like, that's what I'm talking about when I say that there's a part of you that's going north, a part of you that's going south, a part of you that's going east, a part of you that's going west. It's like, there is something in the center of all of it that you are trying to rectify. You're trying to balance. You're trying to find the commonalities between all four, but it's very scattered. And you just want to find mental clarity about the whole thing. But the fact that, and hear me out when I say this, is it's hard to commit to any one thing when you're juggling all of them. And that's really, I really feel like that's what's causing all of this confusion for you right now, is it's just like, there's just a lot of options. It's a great problem to have. I mean, it is, having too many options, gosh. But, I feel like that's why you end up here, is because it's like your energy hasn't been committed or focused to one thing. So it's like you're just so drained again. It gets back into this point where it's like, it doesn't feel like you have enough sauce to like do anything. Four of Cups. Have to learn to say no to something. Have to learn to like just reject offers that don't feel right for you. Okay, that's what that's all about. Let's, I feel like this message is going to kind of just be redundant, but I'm going to go ahead and clarify this Ten of Swords in your immediate future. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed, we have the Fool reversed, and we have the Ace of Swords reversed. Yeah. So because, I'm feeling like because you didn't start anything, because you had a guard up, and because you weren't clear about anything, that's what causes this burnout. And you know, the gift of it is that you return to yourself in your emotional wisdom way, where you're able to see people for what they are, and you have a very wise understanding of what human nature is, because you've just gone through that for yourself. But again, it's like there was some sort of a false start here. There was something that, you know, you were like, I'm not ready to begin anything yet. Like, there's just, I'm feeling confused about it. And I feel like you did that Scorpio thing where it's like, I need this transformation to be very intense feeling in order to feel it at all. With the Five of Swords, I think you're kind of working through that block that you have maybe given yourself in the past of feeling like, you know, transformation can happen in like bite-sized pieces along the way. And I feel like that's kind of, you know, that's hitting you in a new and exciting way right now. Yeah, there's a lot of maturity that's come with sort of listening to a lot of different voices and feeling torn in a lot of different directions, because you're like, okay, I do have to protect my energy. I do have to like get clear about what I want so that I can commit to something. That's what I feel like these 2 weeks are going to be about for you. What else do we have for Scorpio for the first 2 weeks of July 2020? Okay, we have the King of Pentacles, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Page of Wands. That's really nice. Page of Wands showing up for you again, and again the Tower on the bottom. So Scorpio, I feel like you're at a bit of a crossroads right now. You do have the chance to create something really beautiful and stable for yourself. That energy is still with you. You have to make a decision at one point in order to be utilizing it. I feel like the path that you're going to be taking, whatever's going to be serving you best, is going to be putting you into a position where you're a learner again, where you're a student. So you might be wrapping up, I think Capricorn is third house themes for you. So Saturn in Capricorn, you might be having a chance to like revisit what it means to be a student and what it means to be stable in your community again. And I do see that like once you make your decision, you're going to be able to create something that has a lot of like, it's going to outlive you. Let's say that. But you have to start at some point. So yeah. Okay. That's what I have for you. I hope that this resonates. If it does, let me know what's going on. Don't be a stranger. I will see you in your next reading in a couple of weeks.